So what's going on, guys? So it's an icy day in New Jersey. Look at that. And since we ain't going nowhere, why not make a video right here in my car while it warms up? Alright, so let's put this right here. And let's talk about overtraining. Are you training hard enough? Alright, 1 second. Oh, right there. Alright, cool. Alright, so overtraining. Are you training hard enough, or are you training way too hard? That's a good question. And you know, that's something that I actually experienced this year. In the beginning of the year, I started writing everything down. I don't know if you guys remember that part, that little time in my training. You know, I was writing everything down. I'll take my little notebook to the gym. Everybody would be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You going to school or you working out?" I was writing everything down. I was writing all my progress. I was trying to progress 1 rep each workout, and I was training each body part, you know, twice a week. So every exercise, I would increase 1 rep, 1 rep. Didn't matter if I had to put it back on, you know, if I was benching and I did 10 and I had to reach 12. Didn't matter if I couldn't reach 12. I'll just put it back and reach my 2 sets. No matter what, I would always increase the weight, even if I had to, you know, rest for a split second. I would just always do extra, and I gained a lot of muscle doing that. You guys can see it in my transformation. I gained a lot of muscle, and then it got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. My workout started getting way too hard. It was unbearable. I couldn't finish it physically and mentally. I just couldn't do it. So then I was thinking to myself, am I overtraining? But the results were still coming. You know, I was getting enough nutrition. Everything was perfect. But you know, with all these talks about overtraining, you know, a part of me said, this is a little too much. So I backed off, and then I threw away my notebook. I stopped writing stuff. You know, that was right around the time I did my first show, somewhere around there. You know, I did my first show, I did good. And then I started, you know, my training started getting lighter and lighter, you know, very, you know, fewer sets. And when I did my show in November, you'll notice that I actually didn't look the same as I did my first show. You know, I wasn't working out as much. I used to do extra push-ups at home before. You know, you guys remember those videos when I was preparing for my first show? I'll do like little, you know, push-ups, triceps, a little bit of back, get a pump, see how I look. I stopped doing all that, and it hurt me. It hurt me a lot because I didn't look as good as my first show. As my first show. On my third show, it looks like I lost some muscle, or in other words, you could say that my muscles weren't showing completely, just the fact of lack of training. So definitely start, you know, overtraining only happens, and it's impossible for your body to get overtrained unless you're doing, you know, your diet is just horrible. You're not getting sufficient calories. Your protein is way too low. That's the only way you will overtrain. And you're hitting every body part every single day, you know, intensely. Your body gets accustomed to that. You know, you see these athletes and they do crazy things that you would never think that you would be able to do in years. But your body, it gets accustomed to things. It adapts. So overtraining, it's almost nearly impossible. And you know, something that I'm gonna learn from this year, and hopefully you guys learn also, is, you know, don't be afraid to train hard and take your body to where it can't go. That's the whole point. The whole point is taking your body to somewhere you can go, and then next week go there, and then try to go a little bit further every week. Keep pushing it, especially if you're bulking. You'll have enough, you know, sufficient calories. If you're cutting, just try to do it a little bit slower, just the fact that you're in a deficit. But overtraining, it's hard to do it. It's almost nearly impossible, and you need a lack of nutrition. You need, you know, your protein needs to be low, your calories need to be super low. And what do I mean by super low? Let's say, you know, you weigh 200 pounds and you put your calories at 1800 on a diet, and your protein is only like 150. You know, that's super low. You have to, like, you know, learn how many calories you have to intake for yourself, you know, to lose, let's say, a half a pound, get enough protein, at least your body weight. And you know, train your body. I'll say if you're natural. I know a lot of guys that they could train their body real frequently, but most of these guys are on juice and they recover real fast. If you're natural, just stick with hitting it two times a week. That's like the most efficient, frequent time that you can hit your body part, for growth when you're natural. Vitamins help. Protein supplements, creatine helps you recover faster. Stuff like that. You don't really have to go overboard with the supplements. Because once you get your vitamins, your multivitamins, that helps recover along with your whole foods, your meats, your protein shakes, your carbs, calories. That's what counts. That's basically it, guys. Just don't be afraid to train hard. Don't be afraid to take your body where it can't go. That's the whole point of this. Taking your body where you can't possibly go anymore. And over time, you'll notice you start getting results. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I've been lazy as shit. Later, guys. Okay, and just to clarify a couple of things. To progress, you could do it in different ways. It could be reps, it could be weight, it could be rest time, it could be, how slow and controlled, your tempo, how slow you do it, it could be your form. Find a way to make it harder for yourself. The whole point is always do a little bit more in those areas, or figure out, a way for you to progress. A good way is, if you don't want to write things down, is do 8 reps one week, 9 the next, 10 the next, 11 the next, 12 the next, increase the weight. You could do something like that. Once you reach 12, it's time to move on. Or you could do less rest, 90 seconds, 60, 30. Find a way to go somewhere where you can't reach. If you couldn't do it last week, try to do it this week and go from there. But always allow yourself room to grow. Don't go from doing 1 rep and say next week I'm gonna do 5 extra reps. Then it's gonna become impossible for you to progress, because just the fact that you're jumping so many reps. Just keep that in mind, guys. Later.